we doing, everybody? UFC thoughts here today. UFC 300 just happened, and I'm going to recap the event. My voice is a little dead, so I am sorry if it sounds squeaky at times. Fuck me. But pause. But let's get right into it with the main event. Holy shit. Main event of UFC 300. Yeah, I don't even really know if there's like anything really to say about this fight. Alex kind of just fucked up Jamal. And it sucks to see because I'm from Michigan, right? And Jamal represents Michigan, Grand Rapids, right? So I picked Alex, but I was rooting for Jamal. I was like, you got this, Jamal. Jamal, outside of a couple low kicks and I think one right like hook that he landed on Alex, legit didn't do anything in this fight. I think he threw a couple front kicks as well. He legit couldn't get going. Alex was stalking Jamahal Hill down, which limits his range of attacks heavily. Jamal's style of fighting really only works when he's the one stalking you down and walking forward. And Alex big dogged him in this fight bad. He was chewing up the leg of Jamahal Hill, beating up the lead leg. Like a lot of people said he would struggle with, he was still landing leg kicks. I wanted him to bring one high because I felt like Jamal was kind of biting a little bit hard on the low kicks. In the finishing sequence, mostly for 3 minutes, it's Alex stalking him down, landing leg kicks. Jamal's firing some of them back. Most of them are getting checked. And with like 3 minutes down the hatch, Jamal throws a body kick. It's a little low, lands on like the fucking waistband of Alex Pereira. You can hear the cup audibly make a noise. And Alex, without even looking at Herb Dean, pushes him to the side, literally puts his hand out like King Baldwin IV and is like, let me do this. And Herb starts the fight immediately, and 2 seconds later, Jamal throws a left hand, and Alex Pereira responds with his own left hand, and lands not even flush on Jamahal Hill's face and knocks him out cold. He landed with like the 2 bottom knuckles of his glove in the center of his face, and Johnny Walker, he got Johnny Walkered basically. He fell backwards. He woke up midair. You can see him try and catch himself. And Alex Pereira responds with absolute devastating ground and pound. It wasn't an early stoppage this time, even though the Yuri Brasa one wasn't an early stoppage either. Fight me about it. Yeah, Alex just looked really good, man. Do I think he'll return at UFC 301? No, it doesn't really make sense, especially if Magomed Ankalaev is going to be the opponent. Magomed says he wants to fight him in Abu Dhabi, which is like, why are you getting home soil? You fucking stink. No one likes you. And if anyone roots for you, they're fucking casuals. They only like you because you're a fucking Dagestani guy. People are saying him versus Tom Aspinall. I don't really like that fight. I want to see Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. I want to see that fight. I know we won't get it. But I just don't think that an Alex Pereira-Tom Aspinall fight makes any sense, if I'm being honest. There are so many guys at light heavyweight that are fighting for title shots at this point. I just don't think he'll return at 301. I think he'll probably take some time off fighting the summer. And maybe he does get the Tom Aspinall fight at Manchester 304. But I don't think 301 makes any sense for Alex Pereira. An insane performance from Alex. Devastating loss for Jamahal Hill. I mean, holy shit. He talked a lot of shit, and he got flatlined, and that really sucks. But I think he'll be back. He's an entertaining guy at light heavyweight. But goddamn, Alex is getting dangerous and dangerous by the second. That's another KO at light heavyweight. I mean, he's kind of cleaned out the top 5 already, besides Magomed. I mean, he has wins over Jan, who's 4, I think. Yuri, who's 2. And now Jamal, who's 1. So the guys he only hasn't beaten is Rakic, who just lost, and Magomed Ankalaev, and no one wants to see him fight for a title because everyone hates him. So, I don't know what's next for Alex, if I'm being honest. It's kind of getting dangerous out there. We move to one of the more weird fights on the card. Zhang Weili versus Janan. Zhang Weili clearly won the fight 49-46. Honestly, you could give 49-45. I gave that second round a 10-8, if I'm being honest. She beat the shit out of Janan. Listen, Janan is tough. She is. I will say that. But are we all going to ignore the fact that she was legit choked unconscious at the end of round one? Everyone I see them being like, she survived. She was literally unconscious. Jason Herzog literally went to go catch her because he thought that she was falling over. Because she was. She was falling over because she just got choked unconscious. I don't understand. The first round basically goes like this. Janan has a great moment early. She clips Zhang Weili, drops her to like one knee. Zhang bounces right back up because I don't even know how to do a Zhang Weili impression if I'm being honest. Hello. That actually sounds kind of racist. I'm sorry. But Zhang Weili, man, she had a lot of bad moments on the feet here. Her ground game looked very good. Very slick. She honestly could have gotten a submission or TKO. She should have gotten a submission win at least. You could have honestly given her a TKO in that second round, if I'm being honest. And Janan is tough. She is. Fair play to her. I love the toughness. Love how she toughed it out. At the end of the first round, she was legit gulping for air because she was unconscious. I don't understand how, Jason didn't stop the fight then. I don't understand how he didn't. She legit stumbles to her feet, almost falls over, and Jason Herzog has to show her where her fucking corner is. I don't understand. Janan, listen, even after all this shit, she had good moments on the feet, man. Like I said that she would. I think that Zhang Weili has weird stand-up defense, and she needs to work on it. But Janan was able to take advantage of that. And even after then, in the fourth and fifth round, after Zhang Weili looked visibly gassed in round 3, she got a second wind, and she absolutely brutalized Janan. And can I just say this, guys? Why was the commentary dick-sucking Janan so hard? I don't know if you guys even watched the commentary. The whole rounds 3, 4, and 5, including 1 and 2, literally, and certain moments, Zhang Weili is in dominant positions, murdering Janan, and they legit are like, Janan's so tough. Like, Zhang Weili could land 5 ground and pound heavy shots and be like, wow, Janan's really taking those good. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know why you guys are like riding so hard with fucking Janan. She was losing the whole fight, essentially, other than round 3. I don't. Listen, tough performance from Janan. She showed good windows of opportunity, but we are not going to ignore the fact that Zhang Weili is the first person to win a TKO, submission, and decision over the same girl in the same night in the same fucking fight. She did all 3. I think she should have gotten a fucking performance bonus because I've never seen that before in my life. So, yeah, let's move to the BMF title fight in the featured fight. I mean, everyone's already talked about it. Everyone's still talking about it. Max Holloway at the buzzer knocks out Justin Gaethje. And not only did Max Holloway knock out Justin Gaethje, he actually outclassed Justin Gaethje on the feet for almost the entire fight outside of the knockdown in round 4 and a couple moments in round 2 and 4 as well. Going into that 5th round, it was pretty clear that it was 3-1 going to Max Holloway's way. He was just kind of outclassing him. It almost confused me watching Justin Gaethje. I don't entirely know what his game plan was outside of lunging in with hooks and leg kicks. I don't really understand what his game plan was. And also, I wonder if he went into the fight with an injury because he was stumbling everywhere. He was slipping everywhere. He resembled more of himself in the Charles Oliveira fight than in his past 2 performances. He was a little over-patient. He either didn't commit enough on strikes or he over-committed and slipped a lot. So I don't really understand what was going on there. Yeah, Holloway just outclassed him almost the entire fight. Threw a bunch of spinning back kicks as well, which worked very well. He ended up breaking the nose of Max Holloway. I saw some people saying the jab, you can literally see him shatter the nose of Justin Gaethje with his heel hitting his nose. I don't understand what else could have broken it. He also eye-poked him twice in the second round. I don't know if that played a part in it. I'm not going to say it did. I picked Max Holloway. I don't know why. It sounds like I'm coping, but I'm not. Max just was... He avoided the punches well. His defense was superb against Justin Gaethje, and he just outclassed him with his speed. And, man, he ate all of Gaethje's punches, too, which that is a very good sign for lightweight, because Gaethje in that top 5 is probably maybe, I don't know, it's so hard between him, Chandler, and Charles, I don't know. But he would probably be 2 out of those 3. Going into the 5th round, like I was saying, it was following Gaethje's best round 4, when he dropped Max Holloway. I thought we were going to see momentum pick up for Gaethje, and it did not. Max Holloway early in the round actually drops Gaethje and hurts him bad and almost finds a standing TKO finish like a lot of people predicted he would. But he lets off on the gas and lets Gaethje recover. Gaethje's trying to find his way back in the fight. He's whiffing. Max is just tagging him up. We go to the last 30 seconds or so. Holloway's still tagging him up, body kick. He's just kind of teeing off on him. We go to the 10-second counter. Gaethje gets up after throwing a Rolling Thunder, and Holloway points to the center of the fucking cage and is like, let's throw down, buddy. And they were throwing down. Holloway's landing the better shots in the stand and bang exchange, and in the final 2 seconds, Holloway rips a right body shot, left body shot, right overhand, and the body shots drop Gaethje's hands, and his chin is wide open, and just, you've seen it, your mom's seen it, everybody's seen it. Gaethje goes out cold, face first on the canvas, eating his own knee on the way down, in one of the most brutal KOs that we've seen in a long time. I don't know what's next for Gaethje, if I'm being honest. Hell, I don't even really know what's next for Holloway. This fight legitimately made no sense. It was super fun, don't get me wrong, but this fight legitimately makes no sense for either dudes at this point in their career. They honestly should have never made this fight. It should have been Gaethje versus Islam in June, and Holloway fighting Topuria. But hell, we got some violence out of it. But Gaethje's done. I don't know what he does at this point in his career. You're done. That's it. You're done. Like, I don't know what Gaethje does. Because he just lost his ranking to Holloway. He's going to drop down to like 4, right? Because him and Charles both lost. So that's 1 and 2. They're dropping down to Armen and Max. And the thing is, Justin Gaethje, he doesn't fight boring people. They're only going to feed him the craziest of contenders. Him versus Benoit Saint Denis? I don't want to see that fight. I feel like I would be sad if I saw Justin lose to Benoit Saint Denis. He'd get wrestle fucked by like Mateusz Gamrot. He might knock him out because Mateusz's chin sucks. But I don't know. Max Holloway, I honestly want to see him stay up at 155 though. Because, I don't know, his weight cut, he didn't look that insanely great with this weight cut. He had bad weight cut voice. If he packed all this muscle on, there's no reason for him to go back down to 145 and fight Ilia Topuria. I think at this point, you could argue he deserves a title shot. I mean, he just fucking knocked out fucking Justin Gaethje, who was coming off a 2-fight win streak, one of which he's knocking out the guy who's getting a title shot right now. What the fuck? That's insane. Max is the best. I picked him. I said he was going to win. I did not know he was going to slump Gaethje out cold like that. I thought he would standing TKO him, but he fucking I still can't fucking believe it. I can't believe he outclassed him the way he did. Holy shit. That's a very great performance from Max. Possibly the best of his performances in recent memory. I wouldn't say his best performance, because of course the Jose Aldo performances still exist, the Calvin Kattar performance, even though Calvin was landing some stuff, Max was obviously beating the shit out of Calvin. But Justin Gaethje had nothing for Max. He had nothing to offer him. That's so crazy. We move to the most depressing fight on the entire card. Charles Oliveira versus Armen Sterling. Listen, I don't even really know what to say about this one. The first round, I was really hyped up because immediately Charles jumps on a guillotine that is very tight. And I'm going to say this because I've seen some people say this on MMA Twitter, and I do think it is it's a little weird. When you realize that one of the reasons why Armen slightly can get out of the choke, besides his superhuman breathing, is his shorts begin to fall down, which then makes Charles's legs drop from around his waist and down to his legs, which makes it a harder choke to actually sub with. It relieves some of the pressure on the choke, which is kind of just like, that's not Armen's fault. Of course, he didn't pull down his shorts. Charles's legs pull down his shorts. But it does kind of play a weird factor into it. I just thought I'd bring that up. That doesn't really matter. Charles then gets top position, top mount, lands some good elbows. Armen looks like he's seen a ghost. Armen then powers through, bucks through, and reverses position, ends up in full guard, lands some kind of decent ground and pound, I guess. First round's definitely Charles Oliveira. Round 2, you cannot argue that is Armen Sterling's round. He cuts open Charles Oliveira, beats his ass. The only thing Charles Oliveira does is at the end of the round, when he gets like somewhat of an armbar attempt, I guess. It wasn't really that. I don't know. I'd have to re-see it because it actually kind of looked like he could have maybe committed to it. I don't know. Round 3 is the round everyone's talking about. Everyone's like, well, who really won? I think it's pretty clear that Armen won the third round. It really depends on how you view the choke at the end, I really feel like. The striking was pretty even. Armen was landing knees to the thigh of Charles. He landed some like slight punches on top control. It really depends on if you view that submission at the end as a position to end the fight, which, of course, everyone's going to look at Armen dropping, going limp, as, oh my god, he went out. Martial Mind, who is a jiu-jitsu practitioner on YouTube, he does the UFC 5 gaming shit and whatever, I watched his reaction to it, and he actually said that what Armen does by going limp actually is a defensive mechanism in a Darce choke, which I had no idea that was a thing to do. I forget how he explained it, but if you guys want to, go check out his video, because apparently, according to him, that is a way to alleviate some of the pressure around your neck and give you some more air. I don't understand how it works, but that, according to him, that's why he went limp. Because immediately he gets right back up immediately. So it's not like he goes limp and stays limp for the rest of the fight. Literally 2 seconds later, he gets back to 2 knees and gives a thumbs up to Mark Smith. I just think that Armen won the fight. I'm not impressed with Armen Sterling, though. This does not show me that he will beat Islam Makhachev whatsoever. Islam is beating everybody at lightweight, and this just shows to me more that Islam would beat Charles Oliveira again. Because in this fight, Charles Oliveira looked very tentative on the feet. This is the second time that against one of these, Eurasia wrestlers, Islam and fucking Armen, that he's looked very scared on the feet to throw because he's so scared of the takedown. And that is the exact reason why we said he would beat these guys, is because he's not scared of the takedown, but he is scared of the takedown. He is. And it sucks to say this, because I love Charles Oliveira. He's one of my favorite fighters, active right now. You can't be doing that. He did the one thing I said he couldn't do, which is stay in Armen's full guard and just stay there. And he did that. And at the end, he got out of it. And I feel like if Charles really wants to, he could push off on hips, maybe try and look for a hip escape. But he's so complacent on the ground because he knows he can get submissions, but you're not going to get submissions off your back against these top-level guys. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The last time that he subbed people are in offensive positions when he gets to these offensive positions using his striking. Like, bro, come on. I thought it was just a really piss-poor game plan from Charles Oliveira, and Armen Sterling didn't even look that great. And I don't know what that says about Charles Oliveira, but I think you understand what it means about Charles fucking Oliveira. Listen, I had to let my voice heal for a little bit, but alright, Bo Nickal, Cody Brundage, opening of the main card. Fight went actually a little bit longer than a lot of people expected. Cody Brundage, in certain moments, looked decent. He looked good against Bo Nickal in certain moments. Of course, Bo Nickal mostly dominated the fight, with holding dominant positions on the ground. But Cody, he landed some nice right hands. He landed a right hand in the first round that immediately made Bo Nickal shoot. And in the second round, I believe, is when he literally shucked off Bo Nickal like he was nothing. And in this fight, more people were cheering for Cody Brundage than they were for Bo Nickal. Listen, Bo Nickal, he looked good, alright? I think he looked decent. Of course, he was hating on himself, because he looked decent, but he had bad moments against a guy like Cody Brundage, which everyone's hyping this dude up to be the next, triple champ, possible GOAT of the sport. And he's having troubling moments against fucking Cody Brundage, right? Like, this is... The UFC is ruining Bo Nickal's star power by forcing this dude onto us. Pause. They're ruining his star potential by doing this. I don't understand why they're doing this. It makes no fucking sense. Just let us feel how we want to feel about him. You're trying to make him like this guy who's like, you guys, the guy had to watch this. Throw him on the prelims next time. Nobody wants him on the main card of a fucking pay-per-view, alright? And apparently Jacob Malkoun just said that him and Bo Nickal are fighting. I don't know if that's true or not, but good performance by Bo Nickal, but Jesus Christ, man. We move to Yuri Prochazka beating Alexander Rakic. Dude, this fight it should have been on the main card. Let's be honest, should have been on the main card. Alexander Rakic looked like a fucking world beater for most of this fight against Yuri Prochazka. Beautiful combinations, leg kicks were on point. He was tagging the shit out of Yuri Prochazka. But this is like the first fight in Yuri's UFC career where his chin actually like held up. Like, he didn't like visibly get rocked or anything. And I don't know if that's a testament to the chin of Yuri Brasa or the power of Alexander Rakic. Rakic was landing flush on him the whole damn day. Whole day. Yuri, at certain moments, it just looked like he was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna walk him down and see if I can hit him. And at the end of the first round, he clipped him. And then in the second round, he clipped him really bad when Rakic was going for a 1-2, which I said is a possibility of happening because he overextends so much. And also in pocket exchanges, Rakic just has a very high chance of getting clipped, and he got clipped, and he waddled around and got beat up across the octagon for like 45 seconds until Yuri like dragged him to the floor and just pounded him out. Pause. Listen, I'm happy to see Yuri won. Love to see it. If the UFC loves money, they'll do Yuri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira too. If they love money like that. Knowing the UFC, they'll give it to Magomedov Ankalaev, though, which is fucking bullshit. We move to Aljamain Sterling beating Calvin Kattar by unanimous decision. Probably the worst fight on UFC 300. I think we can all agree this fight wasn't exactly exciting, but I think we can all equally agree that it was very dominant from Sir Sterling in the fact that in this fight, a lot of people, including me, thought that Calvin Kattar's brick wall defense, takedown defense rather, would hold up. And it did not. Aljamain Sterling was actually able to get takedowns way easier at 145 against bigger competition. Calvin really looked slow in this fight. Looked like he couldn't get going at all, mostly due to the awkward style of Aljamain Sterling, also because he might be coming off an injury. I don't know. But Aljo looked... I don't want to say he looked good. He definitely looked good. He looked very dominant, but he didn't show an increased... He didn't look better, is how I'm going to put it. He didn't look that much better from 135 moving up to 145. He definitely had a very good performance, but that performance is kind of what we've just seen from him before, with actually like less violence added onto it, because Aljo actually does partake in ground and pound most of the time. But this time around, he was mostly holding, trying to just advance position. I don't know if that's because he was trying to submit Calvin Kattar. But, yeah. The only really cool thing that kind of happened in this fight were very solid double leg attempts from Aljo. And then, of course, the powerbomb in the third round, where he actually looked like he wanted to finish a fight for the first time in his career. That's a joke. Very good win for Aljamain Sterling. I thought it was very disrespectful that they didn't give him a post-fight interview, even though the fight was kind of boring. That's just very disrespectful to a former champion and possibly, the bantamweight fucking hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of, I thought it was a bit slimy. But good win for Aljo. I don't know who I want to see him fight next. Maybe him versus Volk. But I don't know, because it seems like Volk's adamant on getting an immediate rematch with Ilia Topuria. Please don't rematch Ilia Topuria, Volk, please. But, yeah, I don't know what's next for Aljamain Sterling. I think he's number 8, is what he is. So, yeah, cool for him. We move to Kayla Harrison, absolutely mogging Holly Holm. Holy shit. Kayla Harrison looked very impressive against Holly Holm. And I know Holly Holm... She's 42. She's way older. We haven't seen people, run through Holly Holm like this since, I don't even know when. Maybe the Amanda Nunes, because most of her most recent losses from Holly Holm were very competitive, other than maybe the Mayra Bueno Silva defeat, but that's because Mayra Bueno Silva just submitted her early. And Holly Holm was actually having moments in that fight, too. Kayla Harrison did not allow Holly Holm to have, a single moment, besides, of course, the judo throw from Holly in the first round, where I was like, yeah, Holly, yeah! And then Kayla immediately got right back up and started advancing and taking Holly down on her own right. Kayla looked very good. I don't care about Juliana Pena. Give Kayla Harrison a title shot. I don't know who cares about Juliana Pena anymore. She's fucking... She talks trash. That's why she's excited. No one gives a fuck about Juliana Pena versus Raquel Pennington. Okay? How do I tell you guys? Everyone, right now, everyone's gonna be on the Kayla Harrison, fucking bandwagon. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Raquel Pennington, Juliana Pena, that ain't gonna sell no pay-per-views, bro. That ain't gonna... Raquel Pennington, Kayla Harrison will sell something... Because it's Kayla Harrison. Everyone's looking at her now. She's the big name in women's bantamweight now. To be honest, I forgot Raquel Pennington was a champion until last Saturday. I completely forgot about her until I was like, oh, give her a title shot. And I was like, wait, who would she even fight for the belt? And I was like, oh yeah, Raquel Pennington. So Kayla Harrison, she's the champ in waiting. The only fight of hers that could happen where I think she would face adversity would be against Amanda Nunes. And it looks like Amanda Nunes wants to come back. Of course she does. She sees another jacked lady and she's like, let me fight that lady. I don't know, that's a terrible Amanda Nunes impression, but Kayla Harrison's going to murder everybody, guys. This is a scary lady. We move to Diego Lopez versus Sadique Yousef, and holy shit. Diego Lopez ran through Sadique Yousef. Bad, bro. Oh my god. Honestly, one of the most brilliant performances on the entirety of UFC 300 was Diego Lopez's, was it coming out party or whatever, where they show out or whatever? I don't know. This was mad impressive. Listen, I know a lot of people were like, Sadique Yousef, he doesn't have the greatest chin. He kind of has the tendency of getting rocked in his fights. Both of his losses inside the UFC were mostly due to his chin against Edson Barboza and Arnold Allen, where against Arnold Allen he got dropped like twice, I think, or was it 3? I don't know. Neither of those guys could put him to sleep, and Diego Lopez fucked him up in a minute. So I don't know what that says about Diego Lopez, but I think you understand what I'm trying to make about Diego Lopez. Because holy shit, did he breeze right through Sadique Yousef like he was fucking nothing. And honestly, I thought this was going to be very competitive. And it was not. It was not competitive at all. Diego Lopez clipped him with his uppercut. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? You saw his mouth guard almost fly out. And his finishing, oh man, his ground and pound looked his ability to find a finish after dropping somebody, his finishing, I forget what his killer instinct is kind of what I'm trying to refer to, where he drops somebody and you're like, ugh, and you're able to land good shots. He has a hell of a good version of that, and it was a very good win for Diego Lopez. I honestly believe him versus Josh Emmett would be an insane fight, and I think that is the fight you need to make. I think Josh Emmett's top 10, right? He's 9-8, I think. Is that what he is? I forget. No, he'll be like 10, I think is what he is. But Diego's like 13 now. Get him and Josh Emmett in there, because that is fucking fireworks, brother. Fireworks. We move to honestly the most angering fight on the entire card. Hanao Moicano beats Jaylen Turner. When I tell you I was yelling at the top of my lungs after this fight, listen, I don't usually get angry after fights, if I'm being honest. I try and compose myself, because, like, you know, I find it stupid if you rage about sports, but this genuinely, like, because I was looking at it from the point of view of Jaylen Turner, where I was like, because I know this is a tendency of his that he has, where he tries to get walk-off knockouts. But that might have been the dumbest attempt I've ever seen in my fucking life, dude. Hanao immediately got back up, and Jaylen looked at the ref and was like, he's out on his feet. And he fucking, god damn it, Jaylen. Very good performance by Hanao Moicano, minus, of course, the knockdown in the first. He looked very good with his takedown attempts. He took down Jaylen Turner at will. And in the second round, he broke Jaylen Turner. Jaylen Turner curled up into a ball, stopped moving. Hanao wasn't really landing shots in the ground and pound finishing sequence, but Jaylen Turner wasn't moving at all. He was just laying there and taking the punishment like a good little boy. Like a good little boy. Just like, he was just like, stop punching. I don't know. But yeah, it was so sad to watch, man. I was so pissed. Because Jaylen Turner probably did that thinking he was going to get the $300,000 bonus for a cool walk-off KO, but instead he has a loss. This is going to haunt Jaylen Turner for the rest of his life, and Hanao Moicano has an even bigger fan base now because of the cool post-fight interview he had and a cool comeback win on the biggest card in UFC history. Good shit, Hanao Moicano. Love to see it. We move to Jessica Andrade beating Marina Rodriguez. Honestly, I kind of forget how this fight went, but I know for sure Jessica Andrade won, and one of the judges tried to give it to Marina Rodriguez, which was kind of insane to me. Marina Rodriguez was winning most of the stand-up exchanges. She was landing a lot of good straight shots on Jessica Andrade, like I said she would, but Jessica Andrade did what everyone should be doing against Marina Rodriguez, and that's taking her down. She took her down, landed some solid ground and pound, and even on the feet, certain points in the fight, Jessica Andrade was landing some decent strikes on the feet, trapping Marina Rodriguez against the cage and just teeing off on her, just, That's how I think Jessica Andrade sounds when you throw punches, And, yeah, and she looked good on the ground, pretty solid performance from both, but Jessica Andrade clearly won. I don't know what's next for either of these ladies. I made Marina Rodriguez a confident pick. Whoop-de-fucking-do. She gets schooled. She didn't get schooled. It was pretty close, but Jessica Andrade clearly won. Good win for Jessica Andrade, I guess. I don't know what the rankings look like, if I'm being honest. I think she's 4. I don't know who she'd fight. Maybe her versus Janan? Maybe? Rematch there? I don't know. Because Tatiana Suarez is getting the title shot for sure. That's how that's going to play out. But, yeah, I don't know. We move to Bobby Green versus Jim Miller, and holy shit. Besides the first round, was this just a fucking beatdown. The first round was actually very close. I edged it out to Jim Miller, because Jim Miller almost kind of rocked Bobby Green a couple of times. But the rest of the fight, rounds 2 and 3, oh man, it was brutal to watch, dude. He beat the shit out of Jim Miller for about a solid 10 minutes. Jim Miller was moving forward and stuff, but man, Bobby Green's volume and pressure and just overall just skill kind of exceeded Jim Miller's kind of like fivefold, bro. It was bad to a certain degree. I was like, can you... Doctor, I'd stop the fight if I would stop the fight if I was you. But they wanted to give Jim Miller a chance. He tried. And man, Jim Miller's face was fucked up. Holy shit. Bobby Green had a great win. Did the signature water celebration afterwards. I think, is that the Triple H or whatever? I forget. Good win for Bobby Green. He needs that after that Jaylen Turner massacre. But, yeah, great win from Bobby Green. Love to see it. We move to the start of UFC 300. Deiveson Figueiredo beats Cody Garbrandt. Man, this fight had me nervous for a little bit, if I'm being honest, as a Figueiredo picker. Cody looked way better on the feet, if I'm being honest. Besides that little shuffle left hook, I believe, from Deiveson Figueiredo, where he shifted side to side and then threw the left hook, Cody looked way faster. He looked like he had more oomph on his punches. He had stank fist. And Deiveson looked like he was struggling to get inside. But then Deiveson did what a lot of people didn't think he was going to be able to do. I forget if I said it in my video. But I was like, Deiveson might be able to wrestle Cody Garbrandt a little bit. And he did. He was able to wrestle him. He got him down at the end of the first round. And then in the second round, he capitalized on it again. Ended up getting a very deep arm triangle choke. Cody bridged out of it. And then near the waning seconds of round 2, I think it was like 30, 50 seconds left, Cody made a very big mistake trying to get up. He got on his hands and knees, didn't even try and fight hands. Immediately, Deiveson locked it in, the rear naked choke, of course, and Cody had to tap. Great win from Deiveson Figueiredo. Not a great performance, if I'm being honest. I don't know how much further he goes at bantamweight. I don't know if the weight cut is doing this to him, but he did not look very fast in this fight, if I'm being honest. He looked way better in the Rob Font fight, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Great win, though. Great win. Well, UFC 300 happened, and it was the best card I've ever seen, if I'm being honest. Very fun. A lot of crazy fights, a lot of crazy finishes, especially the Holloway one. Sorry this video took so long to come out. I've been very busy with schoolwork. I low-key forgot. If I'm being honest, I low-key was putting off making this video. I've been very busy with schoolwork and all that bullshit. I've been doing a lot of personal stuff in my life. And, yeah, I also knew that there was no UFC this weekend, so I was like, maybe I can push it to Saturday, post like a week, recap. A week after recap. Also, I'm recording this. I recorded the first half of this video up to, I think it was Charles Oliveira. That part, a day after UFC 300, when my voice was fucked. So I'm recording this part on, Friday. So, and right now, as I'm recording this, fucking Jamahal Hill just got booked to fight Khalil Roundtree. Right? Khalil Roundtree, which, I don't know how you guys feel about that fight. Honestly, I fucks with it, but I do think it's a bit of a crazy turnaround for Jamahal Hill. And I think we have a chance of seeing him get sparked out cold twice, being honest. But I do think size advantage will favor Jamahal Hill, but Khalil's kind of a nasty fucker, man. But anyways, there's no UFC this weekend on April 20th. Happy 420, everybody. I'll see you guys next weekend with UFC Vegas 91. Mateusz Nicolau versus Alex Perez. God, I'm so excited. Are you guys just so excited for this fight week, guys? I'm so excited, dude. I can't wait to see Alex Perez main event after having not won a fight since 2020. Let's go. I'm messing around, of course. No, this is fucking so dumb. But I'll see you guys then. Peace.